Good afternoon, yogis. It's Courtney from Grand Park. Welcome to your Yoga Ala retreat. I hope this time finds you healthy and well. I hope you all feel supported and loved and connected, and I just love that we can come together like this to do something nice for ourselves and continue to do it as a community. So, today in our yoga practice, we're going to focus on a concept called aparigraha. So aparigraha translates as non-possessiveness, non-grasping, or letting go of attachment. And I'm just going to read a couple lines from Michelle Cassandra Johnson's Skill in Action about what this concept in yoga means. Aparigraha builds on the intent of asteya. So asteya was that idea of non-stealing, not taking more. We practiced that last week. It encourages one to access unhealthy attachments, negative thinking, or old belief of patterns, fears, and desires. Dominant culture thrives because of a belief in scarcity. Aparigraha invites one to believe in abundance. So I'd like for us in our practice today to think about this idea of letting go. So this is not the easiest thing for most of us. I know for many years I hold on to things that don't serve me anymore, that I kind of grasp on to how I want things to be or how I hope things will be. And this takes us out of the practice of presence. And I don't know why we do this. I don't know why we grasp and try to control things. Because I'm sure as most of us are aware, we're learning how little control we actually do have of things. But yoga tells us that we do have control over the way we choose to perceive things, to react or respond to things. So today's practice is going to be really soft. We're going to focus on the part of aparigraha that asks us to let go. So we're going to do a lot of neck and shoulder stuff to kind of release some tension, some strain, some gripping in our neck and shoulders. We're going to get into the hips a little bit. We're going to do lots of breath stuff. So for practice today, if you have something to sit on, I have like a little blanket folded. You could also come to sit up on a pillow. We're going to be sitting for a little while, and it's nice to have the hips elevated a little bit so that the feet don't fall asleep. So here we are. So let's find a comfortable seat. So you could be in Sukhasana, which is ankles crossed, or if you want to come into half lotus like I am, if that's comfortable, see if you can find a seat where you can sit. And if for whatever reason sitting on the floor does not feel like a place where you can sit, then come to sit up in a chair. So first, place your palms down on your thighs. If you're sitting in a chair, let your feet ground down to the floor. And let's all either close the eyes or take a soft gaze at the floor in front of us. And just bring some awareness to your shoulders, to your jaw, and notice if you're gripping or holding in those areas. And then maybe through a little bit of awareness, if you are, maybe something softens. Let's travel up to our forehead, to our brow. Notice if you're kind of burrowing your brow. See if you can soften there through some awareness. And then from here, really ground your hips down and rise your heart from your hips. Draw your hands in a gesture of prayer at your heart. Bow your chin into your chest. And let's all make a little pact together that we'll try to soften or release something that we don't need. So that could be actual tension in the body, or it might be a thought or something we're trying to control or grasp onto. And from here, I'm going to ask you to go into the depths of your heart. And I want you to notice if maybe there's a part of you that's holding on to the way the world was before the virus, or if there's a part of you that's grasping on to the future of how you want it to be. So it could be something like, I really want my kids' school to open up, or it could be like, I want my job to go back to how it was. And if nothing's coming up, that's okay too. See if you can start to focus on your breath and allow the focus on your breath to draw you away from future or past thinking and into right now, into the way things are right now. And we're very lucky right now because we're on our mat practicing. So maybe take a breath into that opportunity, into time and space to practice. And then from here, flutter your eyes open if they're closed. We'll take the hands down to the sides. We'll get into our neck a little bit here. So bow your chin into your chest. And then take your left ear to your left shoulder. So we're opening some space in the right side of our neck here. So just taking a few breaths into the right side of your neck, let your shoulders melt away from your ears. And then if there's a lot of tension here, you're going to stay here. If you have a little bit more space, maybe start to crawl your right fingertips out. That'll amp up the stretch a little bit. If you still don't feel a lot, you could also gently put some pressure resting your left hand on your right temple. So taking a couple breaths wherever you are, notice the tension and see if you can soften by bringing the presence of the breath. So awareness has a lot to do with letting go. So knowing if we're attaching, knowing if we're gripping. But just the intention to be present and to be soft is also a really great way to release tension and to let go. So from here, draw your chin back into your chest. And then we'll take the right ear to the right shoulder. We'll pause here before we take it any deeper. So just check in with the left side of your neck. Keep your gaze steady on one point. And then if you notice a lot of tension in the left side of your neck, please stay here. If you want to add a little bit, you'll walk your left fingertips out. And if and only if you need more, you'll tap your right hand to your left temple. So we're breathing space, we're breathing presence, we're softening in the left side of our neck. From here, let your chin fall into your chest. Find the interlace of your hands and we'll put some gentle pressure on the back of our head. So this is sending the shoulders away from the ears. So this is more of an upper back stretch, the base of our neck stretch. If you don't, if it's too much to have the hands on the back of the head, you could also tap the hands outside your hips and just bow your chin into your chest. And then from here, release your interlace, lift your head. Bow your chin into your chest again. And then we'll just do a few little half shoulder rolls. So kind of the movements we just did. So left ear to left shoulder, chin into chest, right ear to right shoulder. Let this be as slow as feels right to you, or if it feels better to find a little bit of a swifter movement, you could do that. Take one more to each side. And then from here, rise your head. Let's take the interlace behind us. So I have my hands in a little interlace. Send your interlace away, puff up your chest, send your shoulders away from your ears. We'll take a couple breaths across the chest, opening the shoulders. You can have bend in your elbow if it's too much to extend the arms straight. And then we'll tuck the interlace into our left hip. And we'll again take our left ear to the left shoulder. So this is, again, getting into the right side of our neck. Find your breath. Steady your gaze or close your eyes. Tune into the moment, into your breath to soften something on the entire right side of your neck. And then from here, take your interlace back again. Find a lift of your heart. A couple breaths here. So you can put a bend in your elbows if it's too much, or you can extend your arms, puff up your chest. See if you can find as much space between your interlace and the chest. And then from here, we'll tuck the interlace into the right side, and we'll take our right ear to the right shoulder to open up the left side of the neck. And then from here, find some steady breaths, find a steady gaze, or close your eyes. And then let's take one more where we puff up the chest, send the interlace back, send the shoulders away from your ears. Find a couple big breaths across your big, beautiful heart. And then we'll release the interlace. If you have one leg or one ankle crossed over the other, let's switch up the locust pose or lotus pose or the cross of the ankles, just to switch it up. So from here, we're gonna come into some gentle twists. So we're gonna find space, tall spine, and then we'll take the right hand outside the left thigh or maybe to the left knee, and the left hand comes down to the base of the spine, lift your heart. You could also be doing this in a chair. So send your shoulders away from your ears. Find your tall spine. Does not have to be your biggest twist. So we're lifting up to find length. And we're sending our heart towards the left. Keep engaging in your breath, so that you're engaged in this moment. On your exhale, release your twist. We'll switch it to the other side. So the left hand comes outside the left thigh. The left hand comes outside the right thigh. Tap your right hand to the base of your spine. Find length in your heart, and you'll find length in your spine. And then send your gaze towards the right. Send your shoulders down away from your ears. How's your breath? let the breath connect you to this opening. And then on your exhale, release yourself back to center. Let's take our hands in a little clasp, and we're just going to roll out the wrists a little bit. I have a little Band-Aid on. I cut myself cleaning a knife last night. So finding just kind of some little waves of the wrists. And then let's extend both hands out like your stop in the naming of love. And then we'll just maybe put some gentle pressure with the left hand to the right to open up the forearm and the wrist. Keep your shoulders rolling away from your ears. Keep your elbows soft. And then we're stopping in the name of love again. And then we're taking the right hand maybe to gently flex back the left hand to get a little more opening in the forearms and the wrists. And then we'll go ahead and release that. Open your arms wide. We're going to do our cat-cows like we're giving ourselves a hug today. So open your arms wide on your inhale. And then exhale, round in your spine. Cross one arm over the other. And just give yourself a nice big squeeze. And then inhale, open your chest, open your arms. Exhale, other arms crosses over. Give yourself a little squeeze. 2 more times. Inhale, nice wide arms. Exhale, one arm crosses over the other. Little contraction of the spine. And then inhale, arms come wide. Exhale, curl everything up and in. And then we come back open wide and take your arms down to the mat. So we're going to come in for a hip opener. If you're sitting up on something, go ahead and take that out. So we're going to come into what's called deer pose. We're going to take the right leg parallel to the top of the mat, and then the left knee is going to come out from the left hip. So it's almost like there's an S or a Z in the legs. So right leg is parallel to the top of the mat, or parallel-ish. And then the left knee is coming out from the right thigh. So from here, we're going to lean back and puff up the chest again. So this is a gentle opener for the hip flexors, for the left thigh. Send your shoulders away from your ears. If it's more comfortable to stay seated up, you could do that if that's a gentler stretch. Or if you want to add a little heart opener, send your heart tall to the sky. And then see if you're clasping or grasping. Remember, our theme is to let go. So notice if there's tension or holding somewhere. And maybe through awareness and softening, we get present and let things settle down. So take a couple more deep breaths wherever you are. Then we're going to take it into a little bit deeper of a hip opener. I'm going to offer options if this isn't right for you. So listen to your body. If everything feels good, keep moving. If it does not feel good, pause and I'll talk you through a different variation. Okay? So we're going to keep that right leg parallel to the top of the mat. And then maybe listen to your knee. If the knee says no, or if there's pain, we'll stop. Maybe we stack the left leg over the right leg. So if your knee came way up, but the knee feels okay, you could grab your blanket or your block and you could maybe place it under that knee to give it a little support. Or sometimes it's helpful to place the blanket or thing underneath your opposite hip to bring that foot up to the leg. So this is option one. If the knee doesn't like this, or this is too much stretch for the hips, you're going to come to Sukhasana and cross your left ankle over your right thigh. So now from here we have different options. So maybe this is where you stay and the hands are up behind the hips, or you have ankles crossed and your hands are up behind the hips. Or you could come to a forward fold if you want a little more stretch. So you could start to walk your hands out, but only if that's right for you. So I'm going to stay up. This is called double pigeon pose or fire log pose. And I'm going to talk us through 5 deep breaths. So choose your position. So remember, if there's knee pain, cross at the ankles. If you don't feel anything, fold forward or you stay upright. So wherever you are, I invite you to close your eyes to tune into your body so that you can feel into the tension in your body. So for a lot of humans, there's a lot of tension and tightness and holding in the hips. We're going to try to soften some of that here. So let your exhale fall out. And then on your inhale, breathe into any tightness. Hold it with a little pause of breath. And then exhale through your nose. See if you can release something out of that left hip. We're going to do it again. Inhale the breath into any tightness. Little pause. And then exhale. If there's anything you can release, release it. One more time. Inhale into any tension. Little pause. Exhale. See if you can release or soften something. And then go ahead and flutter your eyes open. We're going to do all that on the other side. So this time, the left leg is going to be parallel to the top of the mat. We'll bend our back right knee so that it's in line with the hip. And then the foot just comes out from the knee. So here we are in our deer pose. Left leg is parallel, right knee is at your right hip. And then you have 2 options. So if this feels good, you're feeling a good stretch on your upper right hip, you're welcome to stay here. If you'd like a little more or to come into a heart opener, you'll walk your hands behind your hips and puff up your chest a little bit. Send your shoulders away from your ears. Notice if there's tension across your right thigh or in your hip flexors. Soften by getting present with your breath, by maybe even just noticing that there's tension there. Take a few more soft, full breaths wherever you are. And then on your exhale, we'll release. We're going to come into whatever deeper hip stretch we're going to take. And I really want you to listen on this side because it might be different than the other side. So we'll start with the foundation of the left leg parallel to the top of the mat. And then we'll see how it goes to stack the right leg up and over the left. So if this is like not happening in the knee, remember you can cross your left ankle over your right. And then you can either take the hands behind the hips or you can start to walk yourself forward to add to the stretch. So it's almost like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. You want to find the porridge that's just right for you. So just right in yoga is a place of slight discomfort where you can breathe through it. So that's how we open and increase our range of flexibility, is when we challenge ourselves just a little bit, but we can still breathe and soften. So remember, if there's knee pain, that right ankle crosses over the left. If you're not feeling anything, you forward fold. If you're feeling just enough, you stay upright. And then we'll come into our 3 deep breaths on this side. So let your exhale fall out. Maybe you close your eyes. And then deep inhale into maybe some tension in your right hip. A little pause. And then exhale to release something. Inhale into anywhere you're feeling tension in your hip. Little pause. From your nose, exhale something that you don't need anymore. Inhale through your nose into some tension, little pause. And then exhale, softly release something from your hip. Flutter your eyes open if they're closed. And then from here, if you're forward folded, come back up. And then from here, we're just going to come into a little bit of low back release. So we're going to come into Janu Shirshasana, 2 different variations. So first variation, we'll extend the right leg out and we'll bend the left leg in towards the body. So we're in a pretty much a 90-degree angle, but the knee can be in a little bit. So from here, find length in your spine, and then to whatever degree, start to walk yourself forward. So you can also put some bend in your knee. I don't have to do a big bend to feel a lot of stretch along the back of the leg. So first we're getting into the hamstrings, and then we'll get into the low back. So a few breaths of release. So breathe into any tension in the back of the leg. And then on your exhale, see if you can release some tension from your back leg. So a few more deep breaths here. And then on your next inhale, walk yourself up. This time we're going to take a different variation. So you're going to keep your foot connected to your inner thigh. We're just going to take the foot out a little bit. So you're kind of at like a half straddle. Your left foot is into your right thigh. And we're going to come to a little twist here. So the hands come to frame that extended right leg. The right shoulder is reaching back. So you can feel probably a twist in your low to mid back here. Find length in your spine, and then option to stay upright if you're already feeling some opening in your low mid back, or you can start to slightly walk yourself forward as long as that right shoulder is reaching back. Bow your chin into your chest whenever you arrive into your perfect porridge pose. So that place that feels kind of uncomfortable, but you can breathe. And then from here, inhale to walk yourself back up, and we'll do all that on the other side. So we'll start first with the left leg extended out, the right foot into the left inner thigh. So the extended leg can have a bend in it, or it can be straight. Find a lift in your heart. Maybe you stay here, or maybe there's a slight fold. Keep your heart reaching for your toes. Find some breaths along the back of your left extended leg. Breathe into any tension, and maybe soften and release tension on your exhale. Again, breathe into any tension, and softly release on your exhale. Take one more breath wherever you are. And then on your next inhale, walk yourself up. We'll come in for that little half straddle. So the left leg is extending out from the hip. Remember, we're finding our twist here. So the right foot's into the inner left thigh. The left shoulder's reaching back. So we have a twist here. So we feel maybe some opening or stretch in the mid to low back. And then from here, option to stay here. If you're already feeling something, please stay. If you'd like to explore a little more, walk yourself out a little more. Keep that left shoulder reaching back. And then whenever you arrive into your pose, bow your chin into your chest, just so you're not holding or gripping in the neck or the jaw. And then let's soften into the pose here. So left shoulder's reaching back, breath is soft and full. Take another full breath wherever you are. And then we'll inhale to lift up. Coming in for one more inner thigh thing, and then we'll do an outer thigh thing, and then we'll be on our backs. So now we'll take the soles of the feet together, and then listen to yourself. So the closer in the feet are to the body, the more stretch that you'll get. But don't pull the feet all the way in if you find like you're gripping in your inner thighs. That's not going to create opening and stretch, right? We're trying to find mobility and flexibility, ease, opening, softness. So soles of the feet come together. Find a lift of your heart. And then you decide. So if this is already a lot of stretch for the inner thighs, you could even place your hands behind your hips and just explore into the inner thighs here. If you're not feeling a whole lot, maybe you want to start to walk your arms forward. Wherever you are, breathe into your inner thighs, soften something. Get present with your breath so that you arrive into this moment. Take one more big, beautiful breath. Exhale it out. And then inhale. If you're forward folded, come back up. Getting into the outer hips one more time. We're going to send the feet farther out from the body. So we have a wider triangle, a diamond shape in between the thighs. Hands maybe come below your knees somewhere or around your ankles. Find a lift of your heart. And then here, maybe start to walk yourself a little bit farther forward. And then bow your chin into your chest, breathing once again into those outer hips. Soften your jaw, soften your shoulders. Come into some slow, steady breaths. Keep allowing your breaths to draw you into the moment and to give you the opportunity to release some tension on your exhale. So each new inhale is an opportunity to engage, and each exhale is an opportunity to release. A few more like that. Inhale to engage. Exhale to release. Inhale to engage. Exhale to release. On your next inhale, walk yourself up. And then come to find a position on your back that you can be in for about 10 minutes. So I'm going to stay upright because I'm going to talk us through some breaths and meditation. So some people like to lie flat on their back, almost like you're going to sleep at night. If that's not comfortable for your low back, you could bend your knees and stack your feet underneath your knees. So if these were your knees, the elbows would be your feet. Wherever you are, let your body rest down. Let your bones, your muscles, everything sink down into the earth. I'm going to talk us through 10 counting breaths. So this is a great practice to get present and to release. So all you have to do is when I say inhale, you'll inhale. When I say exhale, you'll exhale. And I'm going to count us through 10 rounds of that. So allow your exhale to fall out. And then through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. That's 1. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. That's 2. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. That's 3. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. That's 4. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. That's 5. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. That's 6. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. That's 7. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. That's 8. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. That's 9. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale. That's 10. And then from here, just let the breath take over however the body wants to breathe itself. Let the body rise and fall with the breath. And for our guided meditation, I'm just going to talk us through relaxing the entire body. So first, just drawing awareness to the soles of your feet, to your toes, to your ankles, softening everything and letting the feet relax. Drawing awareness up your shins, the backs of your calves, letting your knee joints be soft. Traveling up your thighs, the backs of the thighs, the fronts of your thighs, letting your bones and muscles be heavy, traveling across your hips and your low back, allowing that to sink down to the earth, drawing awareness to your belly, making sure your stomach is nice and soft and open. Drawing awareness to the mid-back, allowing all that to be nice and soft and open. Drawing awareness to your upper back and your chest, allowing the chest and the heart to be soft and open. Allowing your collarbone to be wide. Allowing your shoulders to drip down from your ears. The arms are heavy at the side. The elbows, the forearms, wrists, and palms are soft. Check in with your hands. Make sure the hands are open and soft to the sky. Each one of your fingertips are soft. Traveling back up your arms. Check in with your shoulders once again. Allow those to be soft. Allow your throat to be open and soft, the back of your neck to be open and soft. Let's all check in with our jaw. Let the jaw softly release from its hinge. Let your tongue be heavy inside your mouth. Let your cheekbones melt down. allowing breath to softly come in and out of your nose as you allow sound to softly come in and out of your ears. Allowing your eyes to close if they're not already. Allowing your eyelids to be heavy over your eyes. Allowing the forehead to be nice and soft. Allowing the hair to softly fall from the top of the head. Allowing any thoughts that come to be really soft to float across the sky of your mind. And then from here we'll slip off into 1 minute of Shavasana. So this is where we receive the benefits of our practice. We allow ourselves to release, to open. 1 minute here. So from here, starting to bring some conscious breaths back into your body. Finding some gentle movements, so maybe some little wiggles or sways. If you want to take your arms up and overhead and find a full body stretch, you could do that. And then on your exhale, rolling over to one side, making a little pillow for your head with your inner arm. Take a little pause there. And then from this state of ease, press yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Finding your nice tall spine, grounding down into your hips. Rise your heart from your hips. Draw your hands in a gesture of prayer at your heart. And bow your chin into your beautiful heart. Allow your shoulders to be soft. Allow your jaw to be soft. And I invite us all in this time to notice when we're falling into moments of holding or clasping on to the past or the future. We all kind of have those moments where we dwell or sink back into how things were or how we want them to be. But this practice of Aparigraha asks us to be fully present in the moment that we are in, so that we can show up, engaged, present to whatever is next. Shall we try that, my friends? Thank you all so much for being here today. I really love joining together in any way we can right now. The light in me acknowledges the light in all your beautiful hearts. My heart is with you. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Be well. Let go whenever you can.